Hi book buddies, this is Miss Rebecca, and this time of year, if you live on a farm, you'll hear of something called a harvest, where the farmers harvest pumpkins and other fruits and vegetables that they've been growing over the summer. And our first story is called Strega Nonas Harvest, and it's written by Tommy DePaula, and it is published by G.P. Putnam and Sons. It was spring and all the snow had melted. The rich earth was beginning to warm. Strega Nona pulled out a small wooden box that had been hidden away in the dark cupboard all winter. "Aha," she said as she took out small packets of seeds she had saved from last year's garden. "Qui siete I miei amici piccoli." Here you are, my little friends. "Why were all those seeds in the dark, Strega Nona?" Big Anthony asked. "Well, mio caro, my dear," Strega Nona answered, "they had to rest, just like you do, so they will be able to do their job when we plant them in the garden." "When will we plant them, Strega Nona?" Bambolona asked. "When la luna, the moon, tells us, Bambolona. Then we will plant each kind of seed carefully in the right place. After all, we can't just throw the seeds into the ground in a big pile. A garden must be orderly so it is easy to pick the vegetables." Now let me look in my Libro di Giardino, the garden book, to see what we did last year. Every year, Strega Nona wrote down in her book what she planned, when and where. She never put the same vegetables in the same spot. "We have to move them around," she told her young helpers, "so the soil will stay happy and strong. But first, Anthony, you must spread the compost and manure we saved all winter and rake it into the soil so our vegetables will grow as big and beautiful as can be." You know what manure is? It's poo. So Big Anthony, it's animal poo. So Big Anthony put a clothespin on his nose and did his job. "Children, come," called Strega Nona. "It is almost the end of May, and there will be a full moon tonight. It is time to plant. Now, Anthony, I want you to make nice straight rows in the soil with the end of the hoe. That's where the seeds will go." "Big Anthony," Bambolona scolded, "you're not making the rows straight enough. You know that Strega Nona likes everything perfect." And she added, "So do it." Bambolona is so bossy, Big Anthony thought. Someday I'll show her I can do something perfect too. And here they are. Look at all the seeds they have. Zucca, manzano, pisello, pomodoro, carciofo. That night, when the full moon rose in the sky, Strega Nona quietly crept out to the garden. She looked up at the moon and sang, "Oh, bella luna, smile on me and on the seeds I sow, and let the moonbeams shine from thee to make my garden grow. And now for the ingrediente segreto," secret ingredient. Strega Nona blew 3 kisses to the moon. "Oh," said Big Anthony as he watched her. Suddenly he spied some seeds that had dropped on the ground. "I know, I'll plant my own perfect garden behind the goat shed. I'll show Bambolona." So Big Anthony poked some holes in the ground. He threw in the seeds and covered them with compost and manure. He watered and watered. Then he sang Strega Nona's song. "Oh, bella luna, smile on me and on the seeds I sow, and let the moonbeams shine from thee to make my garden really grow." He blew the 3 kisses to the moon, and just to be sure, he blew 3 more. As it did every year, Strega Nona's garden grew beautifully. There's Big Anthony's garden and Strega Nona's. Soon, bright green insalata salad was on the table. Fresh peas were added to the pasta from Strega Nona's pasta pot. Green beans were cooked in olive oil, and the other vegetables were growing beautifully too. Big Anthony's secret garden was growing as well, but not quite so beautifully. It looked like a jungle. "Mamma mia," Big Anthony thought. "I can't let Bambolona or Strega Nona see this mess." Oh, look what's going on here. Big Anthony's garden, Strega Nona's garden. Now it was time to harvest the vegetables that Strega Nona would keep over the winter. It wasn't long before the root cellar and the rafters in the kitchen were full. Molto bene. Very good, says Strega Nona to Bombolona and Big Anthony. A job well done. We all deserve a good rest. But Big Anthony didn't have time to rest. He had other work to do. I've got to pick all my vegetables. What will I do with them? He said. The next morning, when Strega Nona opened her door, she found a big pile of vegetables. Santo cielo! Good heavens, Strega Nona said. Where did these come from? She called Big Anthony and Bombolona. My children, please carry all these vegetables into the kitchen. Grazie. Thank you. Every morning, there were more vegetables outside the door. Soon, there was hardly any room to move in the kitchen. Maybe these are from the villagers, Strega Nona thought. Perhaps they had too good of a harvest. Well, I must find out, and soon. If this goes on, I won't have room to sleep in my little bed at night. The next morning, Strega Nona packed a basket of vegetables. I'll take these to the sisters at the convent, and maybe they'll know something. Oh, grazie, Strega Nona, the Mother Superior said. You must have heard our prayers. Our garden didn't do well this season. In fact, no one's garden in the village did. We had too much rain down here, while you had lots of sun on your hill. So Strega Nona went right to the mayor. Si, yes, Strega Nona, Signor Mayor said. The harvest was poor this year. Well, I have more than enough to share, Strega Nona said. I will have a harvest feast tomorrow evening at sundown. Tell everyone to come. And Strega Nona practically ran up to her little house. Bombolona, Big Anthony, come quickly, Strega Nona said. We have much work to do. I am going to have a harvest feast for all our friends and neighbors. We shall share our bounty. Wow, that's quite a party. Everybody's bringing what they can. Evviva! Evviva! Hurrah! Hurrah! For Strega Nona, everyone shouted. Arrivederci. Buonanotte. Goodbye, good night, Strega Nona and her two helpers called out. Strega Nona looked around at her empty kitchen. Well, that took care of that, she said with a smile. But I still wonder where all those vegetables came from. And she climbed into bed. Later that night, uh-oh. You think she's going to have to move out of her bed? Looks like Big Anthony. I guess he was the reason she had so many vegetables. Our next story is about a different kind of vegetable. It's called the turnip, and it's based on an old Russian folk tale. It's by Pierre Morgan and is published by Philomel Books. One warm spring day, Dadushka planted a turnip seed. This turnip grew and grew and became very, very large. It's as big as he is. Then Dadushka walked to the field and tried to pull the turnip. He pulled and pulled and pulled. Oh, I cannot pull the turnip, Dadushka said. Babushka, dear, he called to his wife, please come and help me. I cannot pull the turnip. You're old and weak, Dadushka. I will help you pull the turnip. Dadushka and Babushka walked to the field. Dadushka pulled at the turnip. Babushka pulled at Dadushka. And they pulled and pulled and pulled. Oh, we cannot pull the turnip, said Babushka. I will call Mashinka. She's young and strong. She will help us pull the turnip. Mashinka, Mashinka, she called to her granddaughter. Here I am. What is it, Babushka? Please come and help us pull the turnip. Surely I will. That is easy, Babushka. Dadushka pulled at the turnip. Babushka pulled at Dadushka. Mashinka pulled at Babushka, and they pulled and pulled and pulled. Ah, said Mashinka. We cannot pull the turnip. We will call Jushka. He is a good dog, and he will help us. Jushka, come and help us. Wow, 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 barked Jushka as he ran to the field. Dadushka pulled at the turnip. Babushka pulled at Dadushka. Mashinka pulled at Babushka. Jushka pulled at Mashinka, and they pulled and pulled and pulled. Woo, woo, woo! We cannot pull the turnip. barked Jushka. We will call Keska. She's a very clever cat, and she will help us. Kes, come and help us, called Jushka. We cannot pull the turnip. Meow, meow, meow. I don't eat turnips, but I will help you. Meow, meow, meow. Dadushka pulled at the turnip. Babushka pulled at Dadushka. Mashenka pulled at Babushka. Jushka pulled at Mashenka. Keska pulled at Jushka, and they pulled and pulled and pulled. Meow, meow. We cannot pull the turnip, cried Keska. I will call the little field mouse. She will help us. The little field mouse, the other said. Yes, said Keska. The little field mouse. Little field mouse, come and help us. We cannot pull the turnip. Squeaked the little field mouse. I will help you pull the turnip. Dadushka pulled at the turnip. Babushka pulled at Dadushka. Mashenka pulled at Babushka. Jushka pulled at Mashenka. Keska pulled at Jushka. The little field mouse pulled at Keska. And out came the turnip. Wow, it looks like they're going to have a lot of turnip for the next few days. That's it for this story time. We're going to take a week off and then we'll be back and there'll be more stories for the fall. Okay, book buddies, it's time for a goodbye rhyme, so everybody stand up. You ready? Okay. Book buddies, turn around. Book buddies, touch the ground. Book buddies, tap your toes. Book buddies, row your boat. Book buddies, jump up high. Book buddies, touch the sky. Book buddies, don't you giggle. I hear you, no giggling. Book buddies, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Book buddies, time to fly. Book buddies, wave goodbye. Bye.